supporter here. Welcome to Rooted in Music TV, where everything that we talk about, everything that we discuss is rooted in music. I got another bomb episode for y'all, but before I begin, y'all hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button. Pass me around Facebook, Instagram, and all other social media platforms, and y'all know how I feel about my chizzing. If you guys like to support the channel, Cash App, $Michael US. Also, check out my Spotify podcast, the 250 Gemstones Culture Podcast. Link is in the description. Hit that notification bell. We need to talk. The Beatles. Word on the street. John Lennon was playing with that voodoo hoodoo. The Beatles were involved with the underworld, with the satanic underworld. Word on the street. I got a few videos I want to play for y'all and be right back with you to give you my opinion. Let's go.
The Beatles arrived in Japan today as their tour of the Far East continues. Across the Pacific in the United States, a furor is developing over comments John Lennon made. Quote, "Christianity will go. It will vanish and shrink. We're more popular than Jesus." Unquote. Here in Tokyo, violence broke out when right-wing fanatics demonstrated against the Beatles and their effect on Japanese youth.
This is Tommy Charles. If you, as an American teenager, are offended by statements from a group of foreign singers which strike at the very basis of our existence as God-fearing, patriotic citizens, then we urge you to take your Beatle records, pictures, and souvenirs to the pickup points about to be named. And on the night of the Beatles' appearance in Memphis, August 19th, they will be destroyed in a huge public bonfire at a place to be named soon. Stay tuned to Wacky for further development.
Now, this religious controversy, I know you don't want to say too much about it, but does it worry you that it's going to boil up when you get to the stage?
Well, it worries me, yes, but I hope everything will be all right in the end of the day.
Well, I think the Beatles are a real talented group, but I think that they need to watch what they say because they're in such a position that a lot of teenagers really think of them as something really big, and when they say things like that, some teenagers are going to just believe anything they say.
No, but I'm not saying that we're better or greater or comparing us with Jesus Christ as a person or God as a thing or whatever it is. You know, I just said what I said and it was wrong or was taken wrong, and now it's all this.
Did you mean that the Beatles are more popular than Christ? When I was talking about it, it was very close and intimate with this person that I know who happens to be a reporter. I was using expressions on things I just read and derived about Christianity, only I was saying it in the simplest form that I know, which is the natural way I talk.
What's the most enjoyable thing to you about this adulation, this almost godhood on earth that you've achieved?
Don't say that.
It was him. He said it.
Arrived at the emergency room at the Roosevelt Hospital. He was dead at the time of his arrival. Numerous resuscitative efforts were made after his arrival in the hospital, including transfusions, surgical procedures, other procedures, but in spite of the effort of many physicians and after many procedures, we were unable to restore the life of Mr. Lennon.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tom Brokaw. This is today, December 9th. I'm here with Jane Pauley, and this entire half hour will be devoted to the murder of John Lennon, ex-Beatle, one of the best-known musicians and most influential people of his time. As you heard Dr. Stephen Lynn at Roosevelt Hospital in New York City say, Lennon was shot and killed at about 11 o'clock last night outside his apartment building. News of the Lennon shooting, of course, spread quickly around the world. NBC News correspondent Stephen Frazier tells what happened last night on Manhattan's West Side.
Witnesses told police Lennon was shot near the door to his apartment building as he and Yoko Ono returned from a recording studio.
I saw John and Yoko get out of the other limousine. They walked into the gate, and oh God, let me take the time. And then I heard four or five shots. They were ear-shattering. I heard Yoko, and I heard a woman screaming. It was Yoko. She was screaming, "Help me!"
Lennon's building is home for many celebrities. Strangers waiting for a glimpse of some resident are not uncommon. The man accused of shooting Lennon dropped his gun afterward and waited for police to arrive. A detective who questioned him at a nearby police station said he is Mark Chapman, a 25-year-old Hawaiian who has been in New York 1 week.
He, Mr. Chapman, has been about the Dakota for the last several days. He was there on Saturday asking about Mr. Lennon. He was there on Sunday asking about Mr. Lennon. And he was there again this afternoon when Mr. Lennon and his wife left for a recording session. He was able to obtain an autograph on an album from Mr. Lennon as he left for the recording studio where he was going. He remained at that location all evening waiting for Mr. Lennon to come back. Sometime shortly before 11 o'clock, John Lennon and his wife arrived back at the Dakota in a limousine. They parked the limousine on the curb right outside the Dakota. There is a driveway into which they might have gone, but on this occasion did not. They got out of the car, out of the limousine, and walked into the archway area of the Dakota. To the right, as you walk in the archway area, is kind of a vestibule, which has a doorway, a glass doorway. This individual, Mr. Chapman, came up behind him and called to him, Mr. Lennon, as he arrived at that doorway. And then in a combat stance, he emptied the Charter Arms .38 caliber gun that he had with him and shot John Lennon.
At the hospital where Lennon was taken, young people prayed.
He's not dead. John Lennon can't be dead.
Mark Chapman, charged with the murder of John Lennon, will be arraigned later this morning. Stephen Frazier, NBC News.
Problematic aspects of John Lennon's life. He was an excellent musician. Unfortunately, due to the actions of Mark Chapman, his life was cut short. Mark Chapman was determined to kill a famous person and chose Lennon as his victim after resenting the musician's comments about the Beatles being bigger than Jesus.
We meant more to kids than Jesus did.
On December 8, 1980, Chapman shot Lennon in the back multiple times at close range. He died shortly thereafter. Lennon was just 40 years old. Initially, the musician's last words were thought to be the gut-wrenching, "I'm shot, I'm shot." But it was later revealed that his last spoken word could have been a soft yes, whispered in
day and time, Paul was officially pronounced dead.
If you were to ask anyone who is the voice of the Beatles, the name would be Derek Taylor.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Derek Taylor.
Yeah, sure.
Why the preoccupation with exotic symbolisms of death?
These are not things that we are aware of.
What about the Paul spelled out on the Sgt. Pepper's album, the guitar in flowers?
That's apparently there's that kind of guitar there.
Yes.
On the grave.
Yes, it is a grave.
Because we are clearly deaf in that we cannot see the symbolism.
According to the credits, the bass drum was designed by Joe F. Grave. It's just impossible to find any trace of him. He simply does not exist. F. Grave may be a hybrid of epitaph and grave.
The drum skin does, in fact, bear a stunning resemblance to the epitaph of Lewis Carroll, inscribed on his memorial plaque inside Westminster Abbey. Both have the artist's nom de plume on the outside of the circle, but the inside contains the true epitaph. However, to read the epitaph,
The cryptic word games are the immediate extension of Lewis Carroll's famous poem, Jabberwocky, which shows that in word are very different meanings if one knows how to decode them.
The secret code of Jabberwocky.
Creepy stuff.
Lonely becomes 111X. Hearts becomes he, die. One X, he die. Or stated differently, 11 Roman numeral 9. He died. According to the rumor, he died November 9. Who died? Follow the arrow. Paul died. Aleister Crowley, the man who called himself the Beast 666, writer, philosopher, founder of Thelema, cult leader, Freemason, and magician, wrote the book Magic, in which he describes how to communicate on a subliminal level by speaking backwards in order to gain power over others.
Let him learn to write backwards with either hand. Let him learn to walk backwards. Let him constantly watch, if convenient, cinematograph films and listen to phonograph records, reversed.
2 photographs of Crowley were planned for the Sgt. Pepper cover.
That's him right there.
But since one of the photos of a younger Crowley resembled Paul, Crowley appeared on the cover only once. Or did he? Aleister Crowley died in 1947, 20 years before Paul sang,
"It was 20 years ago today."
Was Aleister Crowley the real Sgt. Pepper? The inside cardboard contained Sgt. Pepper, the Beatles, military stripes, and a fake mustache.
I decided to write a secret little message at the end of the record. So we went to the studio and did a demo groove. It would last for 1 second, but it took the whole evening to get it right. Turn it around, the way around, you know. We'll all be Magic Superman. That was it.
Would y'all like my opinion? Would y'all like some of this rooted in music TV commentary? Well, of course you do. That's why your ass is here. Beatles, one of the biggest, the biggest rock band of all time, as we all know. But I've been hearing how they're involved in Satanism. Aleister Crowley was their main influence. This man's a known Satanist, part of the Freemasons. He's in all kinds of stuff that goes against God. And one would have to ask, why is he on the cover of the Beatles album cover? Why he's on the Beatles cover, Sgt. Pepper? Why is a known Satanist on the Beatles cover? As more information come out, you gotta be too smart to figure this out. They're part of the system too. The Beatles are a major part of the system. When he said we're more popular than God, has John Lennon was clapped by this weirdo, and Mark Chapman, because he made a statement that they're more popular than Jesus. John Lennon said the Beatles are more popular than Jesus in regards of how the culture is out there in the UK, London. They're saying that, well, in England, the culture, God is not really present. And with their momentum and influence, he said we are more popular than Jesus. Newsflash, John Lennon. Y'all were never more popular than Jesus. Ever. Society, just like today, Jesus is all around today, right here. Jesus is all around, right? And if you're a non-believer, you're a Catholic, you're a Buddhist, whatever you are, my challenge for everybody, My channel for sophisticated people that can have an honest dialogue. Y'all can listen to me. I'm not one of those, because I'm secure in my beliefs. Nobody's gonna offend me if you disagree. Nobody's gonna upset me if you think otherwise. But I'm just saying, for him to say that they are more popular than Jesus, our Lord and Savior, who hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people gave their lives to Jesus Christ, changing their ways, trying to make it out of this place called hell we call earth, who refuse to be influenced by politics, who refuse to be influenced by negativity, who refuse to be influenced by the ways of the world, and you're saying you're more popular than Jesus, God, the Son of God, the Messiah. Who does John Lennon think he is? Who does John Lennon and the Beatles think they are? To say they're more popular than Jesus. You can't even imagine God's power, John Lennon. And then he said, or whatever it is. He said, Jesus, God, or whatever it is. So it's obvious he's not really into the word. Now it all made sense. That key part. Now him saying he's popular as Jesus, that ruffled feathers. Like, I'm kind of looking at you sideways because the audacity of you, because as talented as John Lennon are, your talent comes from God, but it's up to you how you use it. That's when you're allowing devil to use your talent for bad, your God-given talent to do evil things. You understand what I'm saying? All talents come from God, but it's up to you to continue to allow God to use your talent for good. But a lot of people allow the devil to use their God-given talent to do corrupt things. So it's that part, ruffled a lot of feathers, got me looking sideways. But it was a part where he said Jesus, God, or whatever it is. What do y'all think when John Lennon said, I didn't mean to offend Jesus, God, or whatever it is? Whatever it is, that's God. That's the Lord. That's the all-being, omnipresent. The beginning and end. I don't know. So it's obvious he wasn't a Christian. Cool. Even if we give him a pass for the Jesus comment, which is blasphemy itself, why are you hanging around Aleister Crowley? Aleister Crowley has a lot of influence on the music industry. Just like in the song, it said 20 years ago, the Sergeant told us to play. There was 1967, the Sgt. Pepper album came out in 1967. Aleister Crowley died in 1947, 20 years ago. So Paul McCartney and them was talking about, everyone's speculating that he's talking about Aleister Crowley, because Aleister Crowley had a big influence on the Beatles. Now word on the street, Aleister Crowley had influence on Michael Jackson, on all the big ones. Now if he died in 1947, I don't know how he had, they're saying, even though he passed away, Aleister Crowley's influence was still implemented on Michael Jackson, the Beatles, hip hop, all throughout the music industry. Don't believe in Jesus, and you got a man that claims to be the beast, 666, into magic, into dark magic, into all these type of things, on your album cover. Man, when I'm doing my music, I don't want y'all, you better get off my goddamn album cover. I don't want you around me. I don't want you around me. I don't need you around me. Crazy. This is absolutely crazy. The music industry, we all know, is just getting weirder and weirder. Not too long ago, Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith were lip locking. They were doing their thing, baby. They were doing their thing in the public. And it made it seem like it was just natural. It was just casual. This is normal behavior between men. This is crazy. Normal behavior between men. Grown men. Jaden came behind Justin Bieber. This is Jaden, this is Justin Bieber. And he was slow grinding. And here's the thing. Justin Bieber, I think he looked like he was on drugs. Justin Bieber looked like he was going to take it from anybody. It could have been anybody. It could have been a bodyguard. Because Justin Bieber didn't even know who it was. He was just going along for the ride. Justin Bieber was just going along for the ride because he didn't even know who it was until he looked back. And then once he realized it was Jaden, he said, hey, and gave him a kiss on his neck, his ear, and his cheeks. His cheek right here, all right here, this region, this sensitive region right here. That's what Justin Bieber kissed him. Out in the open. Pushing drugs on the kids. Making it cool not to love, man. I'm like, my music, man, it's about getting some money, getting right with God, family, building empires, going to war. Yeah, it's like that. I don't know about all this other stuff these people talking about, but we all know the music industry is wicked, from your P. Diddy's to your R. Kelly's to everybody's in the mix. Usher out there, Russell Simmons, what is going on? This ain't nothing new what we see around here. This ain't nothing new. Y'all flood my comments. What do y'all think about the Beatles and their affiliation with Aleister Crowley, the known Satanist? 250 capital G, Rooted in Music TV. I'm gone.